true.
Foxy?
Hey, say hi.
Wow. That was a long time to get you here, huh?
You know what happened? I got a ghost or the spirit is haunting my house. No
Oh,
kidding.
really?
He's in the bathroom. He likes the bathroom. He likes the mirrors.
Yikes. I think we have someone here tonight, too. Someone just sent me an email that was like freaky, freaky, freaky. Okay.
Let me tell you something. What happened with your email? Okay, so I get it wrong 3 times because, Carolyn, I need to tell you and your audience a little story here about me so they won't think I'm crazy. I'm much more relaxed than I was because I have people tell me not to tell this, but I'm a pain advocate. I have a serious some serious diseases. I've had one since I was a kid, and I've been dealing with it a long time. That was that was hard, but it affects the bladder, and it attacks the bladder, and it's a Hunter's ulcers, and I have a lot of chronic pain. I have ulcerative colitis. I was hit 3 times in one by a Mack truck, and none my fault. One of the accidents killed my father, not right away. Later, it did later. So, when his defibrillator was disconnected, he was in great health. He'd always had heart problems ever since I was 13. Runs in our family, and we expected him to live a very long time. And he would not. When the lady, she was a doctor's wife, and she was an unusual woman, and bizarre would be the word. She grabbed my daddy, and we were really in shock. We were white. My father's, he's not as dark as his brother as far as the complexions like Italians. They can be blonde, they can be blue-eyed, they can be, but a lot of people have more color to their skin, more olive. Me, I'm fair. I look like part of the German part of my family. So that's why I tell people we're like gumbo. We're a mix of everything, everything. So we have a lot of Indian down here, a lot of we have Creole. We have people that the Spanish discovered Louisiana and named it. Well, maybe not. I guess they discovered it. They were the first ones here. The Indians were here before them. And we have a lot of folklore. We had the French voodoo, and I always tease people because we spell it Vodou. And I always say, you better look out for the voodoo. And it's scary. So I've been trying to get on the radio on one of the channels, and I got to tell you, Carolyn, I love you to pieces. I love everybody. They've been contacting me. We miss you, and I was very polite. When I talk too much, you just interrupt me. It's no big problem. Just say, hush, I need to talk, and I'll let you talk. It's hard, though, being on a phone because, I can't hear anything. I can't see an audience. I'm a storyteller. I just finished my book. I'm really excited. In fact, I'm going to do an interactive book. Okay, I'm saying this on Carolyn's. All you guys are my witnesses. So if anybody tries to take this, you know who did it because I got to get my name and everything straight. That's another book, Foxibot. I was with Scientology. I never talked to people. I was too busy trying to bring them down. I'm not a hacker. I'm not the white hat hacker. I just did low things. I'm a worker bee. So we did wear masks when we were in public. No one knew our identity because they are insane and they are litigious and they will try to find you. And I did get a couple of people try to hook me in, telling me, oh, I left and now I'm just searching for a church. And, you just don't answer. You can't take the chance. But then after a while, when I got into this Chris Watts case with you, Lord Carolyn, save me, girl. Save me my Shaw. Actually, I had someone tell me I said Shaw wrong. And I met a guy from Vermilion Parish, which is the heart of where Acadians are. We're old French Acadian. Now they speak New French, which is really not new. It's like the 1400s. and we speak with patois. We have broken English. I just said I'm not going to deal with these people anymore, these cross-A people. That means trashy. And so I was going to like try to talk because, some of the people that I see on your channel and that are nice, and I might see them on another channel that that likes you too. I don't like all that fighting and crap. But now when, they don't know the backstory. When I first came to Chris Watts, I don't think I came to you at first. And if I did, I probably was just skipping around until I found somebody I was comfortable with. So I went over to different people, and Jays for Justice and them were asking me, and Oni always asking me to call in Zoom. And I really felt bad because I'm as loyal as a dog. Like if I want to say something, poor Margot and poor Monica KW. I tried to help her the other night.
You mean Mona?
What happened.
Foxy, do you mean Mona?
Yeah, Mona. M-O-N-A.
You want to hear something funny about Mona? Right?
Uh-huh.
Mona was in my in the comments, and she goes to me, Carolyn, I grew up, and she said in the same, because when I had I think the Girl Scout murder, it happened a few towns away from where I live. So she said, I went to high school, and she named the town and the high school. It was my high school. She mentioned all the time. So yeah, we found out we went to the exact same high school. So, we were in the same, it's a regional high school. So it's one of two towns because they merged for the high school because the towns are so small. So she was either in the town
Isn't that weird?
Yes. And I said to her, Mona, you have to email me because I have to know what year you were there, because she knew all the same places I did that aren't there anymore. And it was hysterical. So that's a small world.
Well, I've got a small world too because I'm meeting people that are coming to Shreveport, where I'm living now up in the north part of the state. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem, Carolyn. Like people down in South Louisiana, they talk with an accent of we call you guys Texians. That just means non-speaking Cajun. It's not an insult. It's not an insult at all. It's just a way to describe someone that is not a speaking Cajun. So you're a Texian. That's weird because I know you're from New York, but
I'm from New Jersey originally.
I'm a Texian.
Yeah, northern New Jersey. I'm from northern New Jersey originally, like right on the border of New York.
Oh, my friend's from New Jersey. She's go ahead. Because she talks, and there's another accent. I don't know. It's happening. I tell you, it's happening.
Yeah. They said you have to mute your YouTube or something because they can hear like
echo. It's off. You can hear it?
Yeah, they can hear it. Leaping Lizard said.
I can't hear anything. It's muted. You shouldn't be able to hear anything.
Okay.
It's off.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to do it again. It's happening. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me tell you, I wrote my whole book. You're helping me tonight. You know why?
Yeah.
Would you please repeat what that nice lady was telling us? Because I'm distracted, and then I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to add it to my book. This is the story of my whole life, crazy, funny things, and I've trimmed the fat and made the punchlines work. So you tell me that story about, the lady was saying something about the phone book. What's your name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got.
She said that she put her number in that white pages reverse lookup, and it came up with a different name and in different state, and then a different carrier.
So what was she trying to tell us?
She just freaked a little bit because she thought, oh my gosh, somebody has my identity or something. And then she started calling Google and YouTube, and she started freezing her accounts. And
what did she put it into?
She put it into white pages reverse lookup number.
How in the hell do you find anything? Excuse me. How do you find anything for Hellfire in the and you've got by the way, so I've got I'm going to interrupt you for a second because I don't want people to understand about me so they won't think I smoke, or they won't think my heavy breathing I had last time.
Uh-huh.
I have, the reason I got interested in the Watts case, I think, is I lost my family to murder, close family. And then they all died within a few years, and we think that not only, I think, my people that I'm talking to, that my brother may have possibly been murdered. Oh, well, because he was diagnosed with cancer, and he had stage 4. It happened, he thought he had the flu, and he went to the ER in Texas, and I don't live in Texas.
No.
And all the stuff that was happening with my other family member that was in danger, and I kept calling and saying, please, I don't want to talk about it right now, maybe later I can talk to you or write you. It's very touchy, it makes me very upset. And my adrenaline starts pumping really hard. For me, even to talk about my brother is upsetting, so bear with me if I just stop talking for that, just because I'm getting upset. So just give me a minute. So my brother is 10 years older than me. I'm the miracle baby, but they didn't think, my mom didn't think she could have any more kids, and she desperately wanted them. They come from, her family is not Cajun, it's hillbilly. So I call myself a Cajun hillbilly. It's not, they're just good people. One of them, my grandfather, I have a great story I can tell you about. I have so many great stories for you. Here's the sad thing. Everyone wants to hear them. They've been driving me crazy. So they're going to be really upset, but I figure I didn't really plan on doing this tonight. But if you want to hear some, I got them all written down, the fat trimmed. They're all very interesting. I'm very proud. When I used to audition as an actress or try to get a job, like in casting, and like I did the Brooks and Dunn video, I did all the hair, all the makeup, all the special effects makeup, which is not my specialty. I had to learn that on the spot. I like people looking pretty. I don't like to make the monsters. If I make them something, it's going to be interesting. It's not, the horror stuff doesn't really interest me. But Kix Brooks is from Shreveport. I did not know him. My mother knew him and was always showing me tapes. He's a prolific country writer. He has made his fortune on writing country songs for Reba McEntire and massive other huge people. He's was successful. He started out, trying to pay his dues. My mother used to throw me his cassette tape, and I wish I'd had it. She's like, that's my friend Kix. My parents knew Elvis Presley. This is going to date me. When I was little, I met Elvis Presley, and they knew Farron Young, who used to have this commercial, take a BC powder and you'll come back strong. Does anybody ever hear that? I don't know if we've got any Southerners.
I think I have heard that. Yeah. Do you remember the Rayovac
commercial?
Do you remember the Rayovac commercial? Was it Rayovac where Robert Conrad put the battery on his shoulder and he's like, come on, I dare you, knock it off. Remember that one?
Yeah. And so, all those commercials we had when we were growing up, they were just crazy.
Yeah, we
heard
Now,
you guys got to keep my secret. I'm in the business, and I don't look my age. I never have. I never will. And I just got excellent genes. I'll mail you a picture, Carolyn.
Okay.
I'm sure people don't believe me. If you need me to, I'll mail you one of my production letters, like this one I'm telling you about.
Okay.
I did that whole video. I really should have been given like full producing credits because they couldn't do anything without me. The director had never directed. He was an animator, and he was a brilliant one, and his partner was a brilliant one, but they had no experience in live action people. The night we had 8 people, I casted it. Now, usually when you cast, you just have people audition. They tell you what they want. They told us, and this is not my words, they wanted girls with big boobs, big lips, and long hair. That's what they got. There's only one girl in the video. I'm fixing to tell you what happened. I didn't really plan on telling you the story. There's no, I don't think there's any punchline. It's just an interesting story about my work. So we were actually out in Oregon, of all places. Then we went to Nevada. We thought we were going to use these big Russian cameras. They cost a fortune. I mean, you're talking in the six figures. They can go up really high and peer down on the stage. And I thought it was a bad idea. And I actually came up with a storyboard. I watched them in Nevada. Kix's dad was dying of cancer, but he was happy. He wasn't suffering, and his mother was already gone. I think she may have died of cancer too. His name is Leon. It was wonderful watching him, and I said to Kix in a quiet moment because they were really huge. They did Boot Scoot and Boogie. This video I did was Rock My World. Like I said, I did everything on it. I mean, everything. I can go through it all. And then I had 8 people a day. I had to do hair, wardrobe, and makeup. The night before we saw Kicks in Nevada, which I got my storyboard idea, and we got a great animation idea. Before we told him one of the ideas, we told him and Ronnie, and we said, do not let anyone in Nashville know. And you guys have to keep my stories like y'all are witnesses on my copyright. These stories are in my book. And so, and I'm really excited. When I went on auditions, sometimes I just knew I nailed it. In a minute, I'm going to tell you about Harvey Weinstein. Yes, ma'am, I met him and I auditioned for him. You know who Harvey Weinstein is, don't you, Carolyn?
Absolutely, I know who Harvey Weinstein is.
What do you think of him?
I think he did a lot of things that he's pretty ashamed of, but his brother did too. His brother had his own troubles too. Where is Harvey now? Did he have his trial, or is he? What's going on? I forgot what's going on with Harvey.
Okay, do you want me to veer off for a minute and tell you the Harvey Weinstein? I'm going to look at my own notes.
You're going to tell you what happened when you're going to tell your personal story when you met him?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Okay. I wrote it in my book, and it's called, my book is called, and don't anyone, Carolyn, you got to be my witness.
Do not steal Foxy's, but do not steal her title of the book. Nobody in here, that's it. Don't steal her title. Okay, they're not going to.
Don't, because this is on tape now.
That's right.
And Carolyn, I'm dependent on you if anything happens.
I'll have to go after them.
I was a guest on your show.
That's right.
This is all true. I know a lot of dirt.
Right.
My boyfriend, when he found out, we knew each other since we were 18, but I moved away. We went to the same college. Believe it or not, I was really shy. He was really shy. So it was hard because we liked each other, but like he gave me a peck on the lips one night, and I tried to flirt. Southern girls are like Italian girls, Carolyn, and we're told, you don't be aggressive, you don't go out, you don't ask a boy out. Our fathers are protective, our mothers are protective. Everyone is. Everyone in the family, my uncles were like second fathers to me. That's how much I loved them. So, my daddy was actually relaxed, but he hated hippies and he hated drugs. He didn't want any piercing, tattoos, nothing. And he said, I better never bring anyone home like that. So, anyways, I moved away. I finally got the chance to do my dream full time. I got my degree. At first, I started out in music major, and that wasn't for me. It was opera, and yes, I can sing opera. I sang a song called Separazione. That is an Italian song. It's the parting. It's beautiful. I don't feel like singing it tonight with my voice, but that's another story I need to tell you. I sang another song in German called The Schwan. Now, a lot of people have been asking if I speak languages. So here we go. Hola, ¿cómo está? Me llamo Patricia. Te adoro. Tú eres muy guapa. Dices, te necesita. Te quiero, mi alma, di mi alma. Let me see. I'm trying to talk romance, talk to my old boyfriend. What can I say? Well, I can say a bad word. Hijo de puta. and I can say some bad words in Cajun. But anyway, back to Harvey. So now you guys can know you're going to hear me talk some Cajun tonight. Don't worry, you're going to learn. So back to Harvey. So I move away finally. I did a lot of big jobs. So I met Caroline Herrera. She kind of discovered me in modeling. I was only 18 years old. She used me in her show. She was so wonderful. They had the Mean Girls, and they had these other agents that were with their girls, and I was by myself. And they were, I'm not saying this is the truth. They were jealous, and I had already modeled for designer clothes and furs. Y'all don't hate me about the furs. That was not, I had to take the job. I needed money. So I needed, bookings, and you can't turn people down. Now it's more popular and you can get away with it. Well, if I were a young model, they don't like that. You're just their slave. So I met Carolina Herrera. She was gorgeous and a very classy woman. I don't even know if she's still alive. She's ancient now. She was older then. So I had on this pink dress that I picked out, and I had it taken up. And I'm an artist. I draw, I paint, I write, I sing, everything. I do poetry. I can read y'all poetry. I have beautiful poetry. I almost wanted to send one of my poems called The Hunted Deer to the people, the young kids that were in that horrible shooting in Florida. Since I lived there, they had horrible shooting and they all were protesting. I was going to let them read that. Now, I believe in guns. I own guns. They saved my life. And this relates to Harvey. So I moved to Orlando. It's great. It's got the studios. I auditioned for Swamp Thing. I work on there. I work on a show called Superforce. I met a wonderful people, Lisa Naimi, that is Patrick Swayze's wife. I met him in the dark. We were shooting in the studio. His wife was the star of the show. She does not use Swayze. She uses her maiden name, and I think her real name is Nima Hall, and she uses not Naimi. She's really a sweet lady. We're very much in love. Patrick looked great. He looked fantastic. I couldn't see him because we were laying against a prop car and the studio was black as they were, the lights come on and nobody can talk. And they get really angry at you if you talk. And I was a new actress that started reappearing on the show. And I didn't, last thing, I'm real easygoing. I don't look for trouble, but I'm very loyal. And if you come after my friends, it's going to irritate me. I want to talk. I've done this whole rant about empowerment, and being different and learning to be an alpha wolf, a rougarou. I'm a loup-garou. I tell the men, you rougarous. And to run with me, you got to be an alpha. That doesn't mean I'm egotistical. It doesn't mean I'm full of myself. It means I'm confident. And I don't let those people get in my head. You know what my Cajun Ami, my Shah told me? She says, don't let those people get in your head. They don't pay rent. I love that line. So we go to Florida. I model and I do, I do work, but I can't do it full time. I get offered to go to Italy, but I don't want to go overseas without a chaperone because I'll get back to that in a minute why I didn't do that. It's very dangerous. It was even back when I was going to go. I sure wouldn't go now unless I had a chaperone. All the girls that don't get sexually harassed are street smart or they have their mothers or their fathers with them.
So what year did you meet Harvey?
I'm not. That's a secret. Let me finish.
Oh, it's a secret? Okay.
So we go, because I've talked to the Washington Post. So we go, okay, I am working, okay? I'm a working actress, a working model. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow or Julia Roberts. And I'm looking for my big break, to get a lead in a film. One day, everything goes wrong. I'm not happy. I'm unhappy in my marriage. My ex-husband he was abusive. That's another story. And we lived out in the middle of nowhere. Do you know where that boy was killed, that poor kid, by that guy? What was his name? George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. I
Yeah.
lived in Sanford, but I lived way out on the river. When that crime happened, I couldn't imagine it because when I lived in Sanford, they had $1 million neighborhood, and I'll get back to that too, because I lived on the river, and you didn't understand my accent. I've got a North Louisiana accent, and I lived in Oklahoma and Texas mixed with a Cajun accent. So I have to bring that up. And after Jay and Oni called me a swamp back bitch, I'll send you those texts of the screenshots so you can see it for yourself. It's horrible. After they did that to me, I got real self conscious. I was cutting up, calling him Oni Marie and her Jolie J. Jolie means beautiful, pretty. I'm Jolie Blanc. That's a famous song. Cajun song. Well, anyways, I got nervous. And then I had this hoarse voice since December 22nd or 3rd or 4th, right around Christmas. I went to Victoria's Secret and I got sick. And it just laid me out because I got
You got
all these
sick in
health
Victoria's
problems.
Secret. How'd you get sick in Victoria's Secret? Is that the dirty
It was
underwear?
so hot. It
Oh,
was
so
so
hot.
hot in the
Cause
mall. And they had the heat turned way up. And we're in the South. In
mm,
December, it'll be 70 degrees,
yeah, that
80
happens.
degrees.
That happens. But it wasn't necessarily Victoria's Secret. Could have been the whole mall, right? Though.
Well, there were a lot of people in
Mm.
that Victoria's Secret, and they made us stay in that hot store in line for 45 minutes
Yeah,
because
you
it was
probably
right
yeah.
before the holidays.
People
I think
coughing
I
all
was
over you.
there
Yeah,
the
coughing.
23rd. The day after my mother, I will tell you what we call our departed. And Carolyn, you're Catholic, right?
Yeah. Though people think
I'm
I'm
Methodist.
Jewish. You know,
You know
whatever
what
you
we
want.
say. You
Yeah.
know what we say. We believe in one holy Catholic apostolic church.
Right.
So I can breeze over to the Baptist. My mom and dad used to go to the Baptist church. I know a lot of. I went to the Catholic church for 8 years. We call our dead, like when I talk about my daddy to a Cajun, I'm gonna go, my défunt papa. That means my dearly sainted departed father. Catholicism is huge in South Louisiana, but when you come way up north, it becomes very evangelical, very Baptist. They have Catholic schools you can go to. St. Joe's is here. The other one has changed its name to Boys School. And it's still Catholic. And, you know, I've grown up around nuns, and they had a hospital here that was run by nuns, and we all loved it. Well,
Hmm.
my parents had a bumpy road in their marriage. We went to Catholic services for counseling. And that's when I went
Did
to,
the nuns ever hit you? Did you have bad experiences with the nuns?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a sophomore party, not
Mm.
even for the girls' school here was having. They used to
Mm.
have all these senior parties. Do y'all do that in Jersey?
Yeah, we went to West Point when we were seniors. We used to go up to the West. We thought we were hot stuff. We went up to the West Point. We wanted cadets, you know.
Yeah, the military school.
Yeah.
And we have Barksdale Air Force Base here, but
Yeah.
we don't have like that kind of thing.
Mm.
We're going to be bombed. My nuclear science teacher told me that they will not do the big bomb. I made an A in that. I'm smart. I'm confident and I'm smart. And I was also a trainer. That's how I put my way through school. I trained thoroughbreds on a stud. We had a stud farm. We had racehorses. We had Arabians. We had goats. It's a terrible story. It's a good story. Goats saved my life. With my stomach, I can't drink milk. If anyone's having stomach problems, find you a farmer. If your kids are having problems, if your baby cries, that means they have an allergy. They can't drink it. Find someone you can trust and get you some good, clean. Make sure they keep it clean so you don't get brucellosis. Get you some raw goat's milk. I drank it. when I was a kid. I'm drinking it now because my ulcerative colitis. And you guys got to remember, I think in different languages, and I watch foreign movies. How would you like that in your head all the time in broken English? And then what I call the Texian slow talk, the drag. That's hard. It's hard to, I think, engage in. And sometimes they don't even talk in it because I was embarrassed. They used to beat the Cajuns, Carolyn. Guess who did that?
Uh,
The nun.
the nuns? Wow.
You could not speak it. The reason was Huey Long, during my daddy's time, and my friend in Vermilion said, even through the 60s, they were still doing it. It's horrible. It almost ruined us. That's why they wouldn't allow you to speak it in the school. If you did, you got a horrible beating. I mean, a beating. Like one of my friends told me the story. He's crazy like me. And he said that there was this girl in class and they had this nun and she would try to spank her, but she had these real thick dresses with all these petticoats underneath. So the lady couldn't get it. And one day the nun went crazy. And so he said she beat that girl to death. She went and raised those petticoats up and beat that child to death. But they weren't allowed to speak it because Huey wanted to modernize Louisiana and he didn't want his people left behind. People loved him. They called him the kingfish. Mommy, tell you about, I got all this written down if I forget anything. Because guess who put a little birdie in Scott Reich's ear? Remember the other night I wrote you and I said, Carolyn, guess who messed with Scott Reich? Or maybe that was it. Jules. That was it, Jules.
I think
Hey,
so. I don't remember
critical.
getting an email. Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I got to tell you about that. But Harvey. So
Harvey,
we moved.
yeah.
I moved to
Harvey.
Florida with my ex-husband. I live on when I'm telling you, I live next to 500 acres of state property on the Watcava River. I used to call it the Weekawa, because that's the way I think it's pronounced. But they say Watcava. I say Weekawa. I've been around Native people and lived with them. That's a lot of Cajuns are Native. So we lived on this river, right on it, right across the dirt road, because beautiful homes out there. We were building our own home. And we lived right there. I hated it, though, because I lived in Oviedo, and my ex-husband was so crazy and jealous. He wanted to isolate me from everyone. Well, Oviedo was perfect for me because I could just get on the freeway, the expressway, you tolls. I wasn't used to that. And you just jet off to Disney and jet off to Universal where my auditions were, and HBO and Universal and any production company you could think of. I worked for HBO. I worked with that guy in Jaws, Roy Schneider. He's a terrific guy, and I got a story about him. So it was called this weird movie. It's called Somebody Had to Shoot This Picture. And it's him and this black guy in it, and Bonnie Bedelia. I didn't see her scenes. We filmed all night with him. It was something. And he was a great performer. And he was in all the Jaws, the first two. And he'd done a lot of other stuff. He said he's from your area. He said he used to be a fat kid, and he couldn't believe he made People's most sexiest people alive at that time.
Who was the fat kid? Wait, which one was the fat kid?
Roy Snyder. He said, I can't believe he was so sweet, Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, we were standing in line together for food. Most of the time, stars, you can't talk to them. Like when I train people, I give them this list, not a list, this little papers that they have to read how to act on set. You cannot bother them. You want to hear something funny? You know that woman, Molly Golightly?
Mm-hmm. A little
bit,
the
one I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, I know her. Yeah. I don't know her like that.
She was like, I was on New York. What's that show? It's a cop show with Jane Mansfield's daughter. What's that show? It's called New York. 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 It's You
Oh,
know,
Jane Mansfield's daughter. Is that Special Victims in it?
Hargitay.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
Spectrum.
yeah.
She goes, listen to what she said to the YouTube people. I'm a casting person, an actress, an
Hmm.
agent. I was an agent for 350 people. And she goes, and I was in distracting. And I was like, what? And I get a high voice, like my daddy when I'm freaked out. Huh? And she's like, I guess I was just too much and too much. Which it's probably still on her video. I said, oh my God. Oh, Dios, Dios. Chien. That means dog, but it's a coarse meaning. Kushan Chien. That means big dog.
But where's
Oh, God,
Harvey?
Jesus
Where's
was
Harvey
like,
now? Are you going to see Harvey in New
why don't you
York?
finish? She
Okay.
goes, I guess I was a distraction. She was getting in their shot. She was an extra. They told her, move, Chin. That's a nice way to say a
I
word.
know a lot of people
She
that were
wasn't,
extras on that show. It's like they take their dime a
but
dozen. They get them.
she goes, I made a lot of bank.
Really? Yeah,
I've
I don't think
never
so.
heard of an extra making over
No,
$200 a
no.
day, and they're very lucky if they make 100.
Hmm.
Usually they pay you like 50 and feed you if you're
Jimmy's
lucky.
sister was an extra
So,
on that show. She had to play a sick woman sitting in a waiting room.
do you understand? She was in the shot, Carolyn.
Hmm.
The point of it is she's telling us all out here in YouTube land, and everybody thinks she's a movie star.
Hmm.
No, darling.
Hmm.
No shot. No movie star. She is an extra. There's nothing wrong with that. I did it plenty. I'm not ashamed of it. Everybody has to start. It's nothing wrong. It's a lot of people use that as a stepping up stone. But she keeps her shirt unbuttoned and she has those huge implants.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
if her
we
shirt
want to
was
hear
like
about
that,
Harvey, not about yeah.
okay,
She's
so here we go. Here we go.
okay.
I'm in the
Yeah.
worst
Let's get to
mood.
Harvey.
I'm usually in a great mood. I get to go to Daytona. I work for Fox. I promoted a movie I went in. I'll tell you that story. So I get a call from my agent. When you go through the process, you go to your first audition, you ask for size. Usually they will prepare you and they'll tell you you're going to be playing this character and she's like this and you want to dress like this, and they'll tell you what to do basically, and then you have to know the rest. You have to have the acting expertise and training or a very good imagination, and you have to be able to be comfortable. So I don't know. I get locked out of my house. I have to let this man with all these hound dogs, it's kind of strange, help me get in. I'm in my bathrobe, well, my ex husband's bathrobe, nothing underneath. I'm frustrated. I call my friends, are you getting you? Because we all loved each other, and I'm a healthy person. I'm not jealous. I like to empower females. If I'm not going to get the job, if I go for an audition, I sure as heck don't want a stranger. I'd much rather Carolyn get the job. So I'm going to bring my best friend Carolyn, and we're going to audition together, especially since Carolyn's a brunette and she'll look like me. You know what I mean? Why let a stranger get it? Why not let your friend get it? Especially if you're going to pick a brunette anyway. And sometimes they do that. It is looks based. So they don't know anything about the audition, just where it is. And then I call my friends and they're like, oh, I think I heard about that. How do you dress? What do you know? Nobody knew anything. I was disgusted. And all the time, they always put me in the role of the bombshell with, because I'm 5'9.5". And like on one of my shows, Superforce, I played this biker girl and I had this ridiculously short outfit on and these boots that were thigh high. And that they always put me in that, but they always like it because I have a sweet face. They're like, "You're such a sweet girl," and they like that because I'm not hard to work with. So I get the audition, I go, and everyone in there, Carolyn, is dressed in suits and I'm dressed in a red dress. It's not short, but it's like glue. It goes down to my knees, right past the knee, and we're talking skin tight. The whole back is cut out. It's a mandarin-shaped
It's
front,
totally,
like
it's
a
painted
Chinese.
on you. It's painted on.
Painted on me.
Yeah.
But it's not short. It's
Mm.
not revealing my breasts as far as showing any cleavage. It has a Mandarin style. And I had worn it for an ad for Budweiser.
Uh-huh.
So it has a collar, and they liked it because the back was out. But it doesn't show my crack or go down. It's just really a beautiful,
And you don't
dress.
have you don't have
But
one of those back tattoos that's showing, do you?
I don't have any tattoos.
No.
My parents
Okay.
would have
All right,
killed
just
me.
checking. Just checking.
It's not accepted in the genteel South.
Yeah.
People don't do that. Even, I'm sorry, none of my cousins have any.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would have beat the hell out of me
Yeah,
if I marked my skin.
I know.
My daddy said that's a mark of slaves.
Mhm.
He didn't want me to do it. And somebody said Indians had them, and my dad got furious because he's got Indian blood in him. He's Cherokee, and my cousins are, their grandmother was 100%. Their name is
Did
Cruz.
you know NK said that Chris Watts was a part Cherokee? Did you ever hear that?
No, I didn't, but he could
did.
be because he lived in North Carolina. It's possible.
Are there a lot of Cherokees over there?
He's Indian. I don't know about North Carolina having Cherokees. Oklahoma would be more likely to have them.
He's in North Carolina,
but I mean,
so
he could have. His parents could be from down here in the deep South where they're at. When I lived in Florida at the Seminole or in Florida, I actually really don't know what is in North Carolina, but all the southern areas have Indians. It's very prominent. Like that's why that river was Wakava. We had a lot of Indian names. We had the Okeechobee River. My daddy, his brother is so good looking. My Uncle Buddy, that's how me and Patrick Swayze, when I met him, leaned against that prop car, looking fantastic. I didn't see him because it was dark. He goes, hey. And I picked up, that southern Texas accent. Texas is really close to me. Where I live now, I'm 2 hours away from Dallas. I'm 8 hours from New Orleans. Sorry, my voice is nasal. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. When I was in kindergarten, we moved up here. I was fluent in Cajun French. Since my father wasn't allowed to take the language, it was real important to him that I learn. And in fourth grade, I went to summer school with all black and Creole children, and I took French. But that was new French. Like, for instance, they say la gâteau. That they say comment allez-vous. We say either comment ça va or ça va. We will say, get that menu off the table. That's a cat. They will say, I think we say gâteau, but it's not as refined, I don't think. I mean, one of my Cajun friends said, your accent is so pretty. I said, well, maybe they may be self-conscious. I said, well, she goes, it's rougher. To me, other people sound rougher. I said, well, I have a kind of a childlike voice, and when I don't have this stupid hoarseness, it's because of the medication I found out.
So where was Harvey waiting in the bathroom? Was Harvey in the bathroom? Like with that other girl?
No, wait. It gets good.
Okay,
so I'm in a skin-tight dress.
Skin tight, right.
So I don't know anything about the part. And usually, Carolyn, they don't want any accent at all. They want it generic. Yeah. So I learned to talk as generic as I could. And I was broadcasting before that. I was doing some reporting, trying to get into the business. So in the entertainment, I didn't care what I did. I just wanted to get in there and find out. I was young. I wanted to find out what I liked. So I was doing a lot of things. So anyways, I get to the audition. Every girl in there's about 30 girls. They're all real pretty. And all of them, funny enough, all of them were blonde. Isn't that funny? All blonde. All very nice looking women, not real tall. I was the tallest woman in there. I was very tall. I stood out. I had a skin tight red dress on, and I went, oh my God, baby Jesus, I am dressed so wrong. Because I figured this is for someone that works in an office. It didn't look like an executive the way the girls were dressed. I couldn't tell. I didn't know whether they were playing someone that worked at a business, had their own business. All I knew is they were in a suit. I would have worn like Christian Dior or some designer suit if I'd owned the company, if that was my part. I didn't know anything about the part. I just knew
Would
that
you
I
have
was.
considered a Chanel suit,
Mhm.
or do you think that would
Yes.
be? Would you have done that if you had known?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have worn a Chanel suit if I was the owner of a company and I was pretending, going to audition that
Mm-hmm.
like a Carolina Herrera.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering. Yeah. Okay.
In the South, all the old rich people here, the gentrymen,
Yeah.
and my people own land, so they're called gentrymen. That's the snotty way. And old money is real snotty. I have been to so many cotillions. And by the way, if any of you are hungry, go get you a cotillion. That means a little snack.
Mm.
So, anyways, we go. I go in there. I'm just dying. I'm like, I'm getting out of this business. Every time they call, they just want me for the sexy part. It's not a good part that I can sink my teeth in. I'm smart. I did Virginia Woolf. I directed plays. I was in Virginia Woolf. Did you ever see Elizabeth Taylor do the Edward Albee play with Richard
Who's
Burton
afraid
on
of Virginia
TV?
Woolf?
Yes, I can do that perfectly.
Oh, can you?
Perfect. You already hear me. It blew everybody away.
Mm-hmm.
I played the lead in that. I
What would you
directed
What
two
would you
plays,
wear to do
Lone
that? What
Star.
would you wear to do that?
I was really thin, so she was a drunk, and she was,
Mm.
she kind of had a good figure, but Elizabeth Taylor really let herself go. She got a pot gut, so I gained 15 pounds, and I eat sheet cakes every day,
Sheet cakes. Wow.
and
Yeah.
I wore a wig because I look really good with dark hair, thank God.
Uh huh.
People say my eyes just pop. I have a picture you can see of that too. It'll freak you out. One of my when I was going through physical therapy, I bring my books. I have a makeup book where I show all my makeup and hair. I do makeup, hair, and wardrobe. And
Where
then
can we
I
see your
have my
photos?
own
Do you have
book.
a website? Do you have a website when you were modeling?
No, no, you know
Oh,
why? I didn't want to do anything, Carolyn,
wow.
because of all the harassment I see on the internet, and I can just
Mm.
see people trying to look up my God. In fact, you know what? I'll tell you my fake name I was going to use for the Evangeline Saint Martin. After Evangeline in the South is really a big thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we have plantations, we have famous places, and then Saint Martin Parish. My friend told me, don't use your real last name, but keep your first name. She said, keep your first name. I've been in this business since I was 18 years old. And I'll tell you why you don't want to do that. When I went to Daytona to promote this movie that Andrew Dice Clay was in, he was the star. I was not in it. The women from Fox treated me fantastic. I love Fox. Had a great experience with them. But I had to wear a little tiny bikini. And then I wore this little shirt over it, and all the people at Daytona Spring Break, anyone. I mean, and the motorcycle people bleed into the spring break. The people in Daytona, they like the motorcycle people, but they hate the spring breakers. They had a girl on the Playboy stage, because Playboy, Penthouse, any liquor company, any boat company. I mean, they give all this stuff away to the kids. They go through these buildings and they just take these bags and they get all this stuff. I mean, it's incredible. And my job was to pose with all the males. And Christopher, my partner, he not my real partner, he was my working partner. And I took him to work. He was such a sweet Christian boy, just so nice. He had his little girlfriend with him. They were going to get married. And he was real shy, had a great body, blonde hair, just the cutest thing. Is I was so lucky to be partnered with him. And his job was to pose with all the girls. And so the spring breakers of any age could come up, the males could come up and take a picture with me. They got to take it home. And I'm in this bikini, this sexy bikini. They have what they call a Jane back. and that's as little as I
Had you
would
lost
go
the weight
because
that you
thongs
gained
are
for
really big.
did you lose the weight before you put on the teeny bikini that you gained for Elizabeth Taylor?
Oh, that was for the play. That was
Oh.
way before.
Oh,
That was
okay.
just for a
Way before?
summer.
All right. I just
So
wondering.
that was no problem.
No
And
problem.
then I
Okay.
patted my gut too. So I was so skinny, Carolyn. I had to work to gain weight. I was 102 pounds at 5'9.5", and I could eat the whole Taco Bell out.
I know
I
what
could
you
go
mean.
and eat.
I was 106 at 5'8", so I know that I went to Jamaica and this
Oh,
woman
you're
said to me,
tall.
she goes to me, honey, you better take cover if it's probably not her accent at all, but she said that to me. She's like, you better take cover if a big wind comes because you're gone. Yeah, one day I'll show you the picture. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
so
was way
cute.
too
I
thin,
think you're
and I could eat
beautiful.
anything I wanted.
I'm a makeup artist.
Yeah.
So that pissed me off when they were criticizing your beautiful eyes and hair, jerks. But yeah, you were 5'8" and 100 what?
106.
How little?
106. So
Lord.
you were 102 at 5'9", right?
Yeah. That's 5'9.5".
5'9". Yeah.
This,
okay. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
that was I would eat everything. I think it's because my metabolism was so high.
yeah,
I was
and then
always
then you get
on
in,
the
and then you
go.
fall in love, or you're in college and you're walking so much. That was what it did. College, people gain weight. I lost
You
weight
walk
like crazy in
everywhere.
college. Yeah, you walk everywhere.
Everywhere. That's my boyfriend. That's how I met him. I would always dress up and to the nines. My mother spoiled me rotten. I mean, we didn't pay a lot. We just were good shoppers. I'm the best shopper in the world. And
I don't
would
know.
be
I'll have
dressed
to go
in the
shopping with you to
nicest
tell you
heels.
because I'm a pretty darn good shopper.
Oh, baby, you ain't beat this girl. I love a bargain.
Do you see some
I
of my
can
Ollie's?
find
You
anything that-
haven't seen any of my Ollie's hauls or my 9x15 rug I got for $26, brand new from Wayfair and pricing errors.
That's why I like you.
Yeah, see, I know.
You know what? I told my mother we're the best dressed. We weren't like millionaires or rich. I used to joke around those rich people we socialized with. They loved us. We're the best dressed poor people in town because we were dressed just as good as they were. Carolina Herrera, I forgot to tell you. First time I met her was 18. They were being mean to me. And they were like, well, you this and you that. I'd never taken those stupid modeling classes in my hometown. And she was like, what is the walk? They told me I could walk. She's Spanish, okay? Yeah, I started speaking Spanish to her. I was about to cry. She could see it. I was so young and innocent. And she goes, your dress, I love your dress. It's beautiful. What is the walk? You walk for me. And I was like, okay. She goes, there's nothing wrong with your walk. You look fine. And I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. And then she looked at my dress. It went off, okay, like part of the shoulder, at the shoulder, it was bright pink, hot pink satin. And then it went across, one shoulder was bare. It was very conservative, really. And then the shoulder on the right had this kind of puffy thing that looked like a flower. It was way too big for me. I was a bone, and I have petite bones. I'm 5'9.5". If you're 5'8", you tell me when someone puts their fingers around your wrist back then. I bet they're real tiny, aren't they? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was talking to you on mute. My wrists are still pretty tiny. Yeah, I always had tiny wrists.
Well, I'm very small boned, and that worked against me because I can't wear those big bones. Those girls that work the runway, those top models, they are huge bones. Their knee bones are like a horse. So they would always go, "You're so petite bones. You're so tiny." It would just swallow me, and they would have to find the smallest samples they could or adjust them. So she hired me. And they nearly died because everybody's eyes were on me. She goes, I love that dress. Where'd you get that dress? I said, well, I found it at this department store I work at because I was working in retail since I was 15. I was like, I work there every summer and every weekend I can, and at night too. I go, I need to save my money for school, for college. And she goes, you need to be a model and an actress. I go, well, I don't want to go to Europe. Why not? Well, anyways, I had that hot pink dress on. She loved it. At the bottom, Carolyn, it was a bubble. It went no hem. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It had netting in it.
Yep.
And it poofed out.
Mm-hmm.
It was real unusual. As God is my witness, after she went on, and I told her, I took it up, I made these changes, she came out with the bubble dress that spring.
So you inspired
exactly.
that. You inspired the bubble dress.
Yeah.
Everybody take that
I
down.
did. I was so happy because I took that dress and made it my own. It was a size 14 women's. It swallowed me. But I loved the color. I loved the material. And I was like, I'm getting it. And I got a discount. It was like a Dillard's. You know, it had nice things there. Right. I don't know if y'all have Dillard's.
I've heard of. I'm familiar with the Dillards. They have them down in Florida and stuff. Burdines used to be very popular down in Florida, but up here we had Bloomingdale's and Saks. You know, that was
Saks and Bloomingdale's. Right? It's like Bloomingdale's. It's like Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
In the Northwest, I was up there. They had Nordstrom's.
Oh yeah, and the Nordstrom's like in the Northeast now too. Yeah, Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Neiman Marcus, that's their competition. So she went and did that. I became the star of the show. She's like, you got to come to Europe. You got to do this. It was great. It was wonderful. She discovered me. So
now back to the red dress that was painted on in the room with all the suits.
I got the red painted dress stuck. Wish you could see it what I look like. It's going to blow your mind. You just don't believe it. I'm not a bragger. Right. But I actually was prettier than my pictures people told me. And now I have that confidence I didn't have back then.
Sure.
I was not young at Harvey. I was very lucky. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but I was no 18-year-old or even 25, okay? Because I look a lot younger. So I look like a kid. So when I was auditioning for him, people thought I was like 21. They never asked for ID. They go, oh my God, you look 18. They would always assume, and I'm not going to tell them, because that'll hurt you. And I don't look it.
All the actresses shaved like 5-6 years off their age. They never even the Barry Manilow.
But I couldn't.
He's
they
like
told
6
me
years older than he states.
When they found out my real age, they told me you couldn't even work if you wanted to in that age category.
Too old.
Yeah, actresses do it. Huh?
I said, you're too old. You're over the
hill.
Well,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Carolyn. That was rude.
No.
What were you saying about actresses?
You said to me they can't. Didn't you say you can't work at that age?
No, I said I couldn't work in my age category.
Oh,
I didn't look like
I misunderstood you. I misunderstood you. I thought you said you couldn't work at that age.
Let's
say
you
have
I was
to shave
30.
some years off, otherwise you get over the hill too fast. You see?
Well, look. Let's say I was between. When I first got to Florida, we're going to play a little game, and y'all are smart. You'll figure it out. Let's hypothetically say, hypothetically, in quotes, when I got there, I was 27. Let's say hypothetically, I was between probably 29 and 31 when I auditioned for Harvey. Okay. I was no baby anymore.
No.
I'd already had guys come on to me. I was used to it. So I go in there. I said, can I, politely, and there are guys there too, and they were in suits, and everyone's practicing their lines, and it's freaking me out. And I'm like, why did I do this? And it was in a weird place. It was not at the studios. I've never gotten an audition that wasn't at the studios, ever. Like Universal and Disney's right there. Universal has all kinds. They have HBO, so they rent out offices there. So I was like, wow, this is weird. And it was an indie film company. Now, even though I was a little bit out of the range, hypothetically, I might have been,
Right.
We don't know.
You might have been
so hypothetically, I still didn't really know the big swinging dicks. I'm not being crude. That's what they call people that are stocks and big deals. They come in there, they're all egotistical. I'd heard Miramax, which is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
He lost that, sold it out. I think he got in trouble financially. I don't know.
He's lost everything.
But Miramax was huge. Huh?
Yeah. He lost everything now. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. He lost everything.
Thank God. And so I'm in this skin tight red dress. I don't know anything. I'm not at the studios. I'm right outside Orlando, going towards Tampa. It was weird.
Yeah.
So I'm in this, and all I know is there's a chance for me to be in this movie. I don't know there's a chance for me to be the lead female. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to be a day player or I just go in for the day.
What movie
and play
was
someone. The Tier was the name of it.
The Tier?
And I've never seen it.
Oh.
That's what they told me. They said The Tier. And it's about a Vietnam vet and this girl. And really, all I know is it was about him having problems when he comes back from war. They were supposed to use this guy who I did not audition with, a lead actor. They were supposed to use this guy that had been popular and he had dropped off, and they were trying to help him get a comeback. It was his comeback movie, but I don't know who he was. They didn't tell me. Just said, there's a big name. You'll know him. He's kind of, and then, let me get to that. So I'm sitting there, I'm disgusted with myself. I had to climb through the window and, no clothes on under my bathrobe, lock myself out by the rivers full of, cocoa trees full of gators. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to drive way outside. It's a long way to the studios because I'm living in Sanford, Florida, in the middle of nowhere. I got to drive all the way to Orlando and past it towards Tampa. So I find the place we audition. I get there. I say to the lady, nice. I'm not going to be rude. I've never been rude. And I say to her, can I please have my size? And she goes, oh, here, you have a monologue. And I say, huh? Huh? A monologue? What? A monologue? A monologue means you got a good part. A monologue means probably the lead. So I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, I can't talk with an accent. This is not going well. I'm not dressed right. Everybody's in these suits. They know what they're doing. I have no information.
That's a lot of negative self-talk. That was a lot of negative self-talk you were doing.
Yeah, but I was usually positive.
Yeah, but you should have been, like, you were up for the lead. You should have been, like, pumping yourself up like crazy.
Well, no, I didn't know. I just like, a monologue, what? That's weird. Because every other girl had sides. She didn't have, like, a long part. She just had the stupid part. I was like, huh, that's interesting. And, I'm stressed because I had locked myself out of my house. I understand. I didn't get on there. It's like California. It's turning into California. It's so busy. It's hugely busy. I got in trouble. I'm never late. You have to be, and for you actors and actors out there, speaking as a casting agent, as an agent, I'm going to give you a tip. When you go to an audition, no one tells you the business on modeling or acting. Expect you to be there 15 minutes early. So if your call time is at 5 o'clock, you'll be there 30 minutes before. That's what I would do. You better be there 15 minutes before. If you show up at 5 o'clock, they consider that late.
No, you're not getting it.
No one tells you that stuff.
You got to know that. You always show up. You got to show up early for that. But then you've got to be fashionably late after you get it.
Yeah, and you know how long it takes? That place is California. I went to Daytona Beach, which is 2 hours away, I think, and I got stuck. I couldn't. I had to work for Carlsberg Beer that night, and they had a limo, a white limo. They waited 30 minutes, and they knew I was Southern Cajun hillbilly. I told them I got the job. Boom! Look. When I moved there, 2 weeks after I moved there, I got an agent. and an audition, and I nailed it. So it helped me being older. It helped me that I've directed plays. It helped me that I directed a commercial. All that stuff, the acting helped me. Learning helped me. The people making passes at me. All that, I learned how to deal with that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you
we
have
get up,
experience. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I wasn't some green teenager, that's going to cry.
Right,
So
yeah.
I'm in this red dress. I'll sit down to read my monologue, and and I look down, and like I said, I'm not talking in my accent now. Someone made a remark in the comments. Yes, I go in and out. I don't talk like, hey, Sha, comment ça va? I don't do that. I don't say, a quit acting crossé. I could talk a lot of Cajun to you. I want to. So I'm proud of my heritage. So, anyways, I'm sitting there reading it, Carolyn, and all the nerves, the tapes of, well, you're going to get out. You're not going to make this. You look like a fool. You dress wrong. What are you doing? I started to laugh. I started to laugh.
Oh, no.
The part was made for me.
Oh, was it?
I could talk in my own accent. Actually, I could talk like my North Louisiana hillbilly cousins. It was my cousin I was playing. When I read the role and the long monologue, baby, I didn't have to act. All I had to do was play my cousin. The Cherokee, our mother was married 7 times, and that's not counting all the boyfriends.
Right.
So she had 2 sets of twins, and so not all her kids, like one set is Cajun, that set, one of them got murdered. I'll talk about that. But anyway, back to, it was her. I didn't have to act.
Right.
All I had to do was imitate my cousin.
Sure.
I could talk in a southern accent. I could relax. I go in there, my shoulders are thrown back. I have on 6-inch black pumps. I look like a freaking Amazon. I get a big smile, and they say, "Do you need time?" Harvey's in there, his brother's in there, and there's some other men. And when you groom guys, if there's a chance, I'll be very nice to her. Never be rude to someone. I've seen people, a production assistant or a secretary or receptionist, and they've ended up being real high up. One lady became a studio head. So don't ever be rude to people.
No,
don't think
that's good in general. Even if you're not looking to move up to a studio head, you shouldn't be rude to people,
Well, but that's Southern, but it's a good thing. You wouldn't believe how many people do that.
Oh, there's
and
lots
they
of rude
screw
people,
and burn their bridges. They burn their bridges.
Sure.
And they don't like it if you let me tell you something. They don't like it if you're rude. I'm a beautiful woman, but I could beat out somebody that might have a better body than me. My measurements back then were 37. I guess my waist was about 27, 28 inches. My hips matched my bust. You could always tell who had the boob jobs because their hips were nothing. They'd have these real big boobs, and they'd have these flat butts and these tiny hips. My hips were 37.5 inches. So, but I'm thin. I look good. Like I said, you'll see my picture. So I don't post because my ex-husband was a stalker, and I dated some stalkers after him. I'm very lucky. I have a wonderful man. He's great. So I go in there, and I'm just so confident. And, their faces light up. Whoa, who are you? Do you need more time? Oh, they're sweet. Do you need more time? I'm like, no, I'm fine. His brother had on glasses. I'll never forget him. I didn't really notice Harvey. He was standing up. So they put me where I'm like behind this bar, pretend bar. It's not real. It's just a thing I can lean on.
Yeah,
and another guy's doing lines with me. So they run me through it. At the end, they go, wow, that's great. I go, oh, I was so excited. When you do good. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. They go, how'd you do that? I go, and I'm going to be crude. I couldn't help it. I was so happy. I said, baby, that's home shit. I just had to, I just had to imitate my cousin. I was confident. I was to the point, I was strutting. I was happy.
Did he
So
ask
I
you to
leave,
stop
and they're
by
like,
his apartment to pick up some scripts?
oh no, we were out in Florida.
Oh.
That, good luck with that. No one bothered me. Wait till you hear it. So I go home, and I really didn't know who he was. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I find out it's the lead. The character's name is Sylvie. She's like this bartender girl. She's just, she's kind of a wanderer. She's sweet, but she doesn't really have much ambition. She's kind of living a southern kind of working class life. She's a good person. And I just had her nailed because I just had to play a cousin. I didn't even, I had my pick of people. So I leave. I'm in a tight dress, and I was almost danced out of it. I get in this big Cherokee Jeep because I had this huge Cherokee Jeep, and I'm smiling all the way back to Sanford. I call my friends to tell them what happened. They're like, wow. And then one of them had been an audition. She's gorgeous. She's a redhead. I call her Pebbles. I don't want to tell you her name. She's a redhead with blue eyes. She's not real tall, but she looks it. She's short-waisted like me, but she has
her
these
name was Lorraine.
incredible legs.
Her name's not Lorraine?
No.
No, okay.
No, my character's name was Sylvie.
Oh, okay. That's what it must be.
My cousin's name is Kathy. My friend's name is Pebbles. That's not her real name.
Right.
She's a redhead.
Yeah. No, I thought it was Lorraine. But
I used to call her Cinnamon and Pebbles. I got a story that's hysterical about her. So I go back home and you wait for your call back. That was a huge lead role. I nailed it. So now I just got to worry. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I'm at home. Number one, I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow or Brad Pitt or Julia Roberts. I'm not some big name. Okay? And I don't know if that was around the time he was doing Gwyneth Paltrow in that movie. I don't know. So anyways, I'm not connecting. And I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be, he said they'd need me for 30 days. I mean, that's fast. He goes, yeah, it's just a little indie that me and my brother, his brother is interested in it. The guy that made eye contact with me and had a smile on his face, I thought he was nice. I didn't realize he was bad. Was his brother, and then he's behind him.
Yeah, his brother got in trouble too. Is that the brother that got in trouble?
Yeah. Let me tell you about him, but he's the nice one. Out of the two, you're going to want to be with him, even though he's bad.
He's the nice sexual predator of the two?
He's the nicest one. If you're going to be with one or the other, you want to be with him.
You're right. If you had to be with one sexual predator, you'd rather be with him.
Harvey's horrible. Nicer. Okay, so he's got kind of a gritty look. Harvey looks like he never showers. Maybe that's why he was always wanting to shower with
Harvey's a chubby chub. So, like, he looks like he never got picked for kickball or anything. He was
but
never,
he stands
like
there.
He was always that way.
He postures. He looks at you, and he's got this creepy smile, but it's not a smile that has...
Let's face it, Foxibot, the only reason he was even getting anything was because he had green bills in his pocket, you know?
Yeah. Well, he made all those Academy Award movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow won it. Mira Savino, poor Mira Savino, poor Gwyneth. You heard what Gwyneth did. She was on the Howard Stern show. Watch that. Brad Pitt went after him and told him he'd kill him. He's almost like a Southern boy. He did the right thing by her.
Howard is almost like a Southern boy?
If you ever get around her. Huh?
Howard's like a Southern boy?
No, he was on Howard Stern's show. She was, not Brad. And she tells a Brad Pitt story. And Brad he's Midwestern, but he has his mother's Baptist.
Oh, he's like a Southern boy. Okay, I was going to say Howard Stern. No, yeah.
Yeah, when he was at Thelma and Louise, he reminded me of a lot of Southern losers that I know. I didn't like him because he played the part so good. He wasn't cute to me. It wasn't until after I went back and watched it. That's one of my favorite movies. I'd kill to direct that or have a role. So, anyways, so you get a call back if they like you. That's when they're narrowing it down. I had nailed it. My nose is all stopped up, y'all. It's humid. It's been tornadoes here. It's horrible. And it makes me sick every time. I have so many allergies from my disease. I have the disease that's the reason I like Sinead so much is like us. She had lupus. I have her sister disease. So I know that she suffered. That's a horrible disease. I have a friend right now that is a Brambler. You guys pray for her. She won't like this, but I'm telling you. Trudy, she's a nurse. Her name's Richard. Please pray for your Rambler. She loves you.
Trudy, I know Trudy. Trudy's so not feeling well?
She's going to kill me. No, she's not. She's not doing good.
I don't want
She has
Trudy
an
to
autoimmune disease.
I don't think Trudy would kill anybody, but she'd probably be pretty angry, maybe. Just pray for Trudy. She's not feeling well. Just pray for Trudy. She's not feeling well.
Please, yes.
Okay.
Y'all. I ordered her some Cradle, a natural pain reliever. It's from Thailand, and she has to wait till Monday. She's in unbearable pain. Her legs are. She's only 4'11", and it's like her legs are 5 times the size they should be.
Wow.
It made me cry.
Poor Trudy.
She's a nurse. She's real smart.
I know
She's
Trudy.
retired.
Yeah.
She's a doll. She is a doll. I love her. I've tried to help her. I've got Amazon sending out money. I'm the angel of the internet, Carolyn. I don't have any. I am who I am on this phone as I am in real life. The drugs have messed with me. They messed my voice up. I'm a songwriter. I'm probably going to have to find more people to do my songs and me singles because of all these problems. It puffs you up. The steroids and all the things you have to take is horrible. Well, anyways, so I get a phone call at home, guys. I wish to God I had my recorder.
Yeah.
I was very back then to it. I get a call. When you get your call back, your agent calls you. The producer or the director or the owner of the company doesn't call. It was your Brad Pitt, and he knows you, or Julia Roberts. I was an unknown working actress. Why would Harvey Weinstein call me?
Harvey called you?
At home.
home.
God as my witness at home. I lived out on the Wekiva River on Katie's Landing. I can show y'all the exact place. Wish we could go on a field trip there. Yes, at home. And this is what he says. I will try to do it. This is Harvey Weinstein. We loved your audition. You did fantastic. We want you to come back for the lead of Sylvie. As far as I'm concerned, you have the part. I was like, what? And I thought it was a joke. I didn't know who Harvey Weinstein was. Never heard of him. Well, I couldn't put it together. I'd probably seen his movies, but I did put it together. It's not like I'm sitting there watching the credits at the end going, well, who produced this movie? I did later. That taught me something. Watch the credits. Know who these people are. So I'm like, it's a joke. It's a joke. And number one, my agents, they were models over at for Christian Dior. They were Jeff is Creole. They're the Collanders. Sonia, Jeff, she's drop dead gorgeous. She's a black lady. Well, I don't think she's just African. Most people are mixed, but he's from New Orleans, down south where I'm from. So he loved me. My agent would call. Not even the owner.
So what happened? You just thought it was a joke and you didn't go in?
He called me at home. That's a no-no. If a producer, director, or someone that owns the company calls you at home, that's a big-ass red flag.
Okay, so I just didn't go?
Was a joke.
You just didn't go in?
Huh?
You just didn't go in?
No, I went, but I didn't believe it was real.
Oh, okay.
I thought, what the hell? Why isn't my agent calling me? And here's the thing I never found out. I never found out who gave me my number. That's supposed to be private.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to have my number. I don't want anyone to have my number. Only people that's supposed to call me is my agent. Here's the other
Probably
thing,
put it on your
Carolyn.
form.
Yes, I did. That's what you beat
Harvey
me to the punch.
because he could get anything there.
Don't beat me to the punch.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
he gets a headshot and he gets my resume. That's it. He gets the pictures. Of course, they sent him all the pictures. Well, you'll see why he auditioned me. I wish I had a picture right now. I could show y'all. You're gonna freak. So I sent some to Trudy. So anyway,